Geno Pettis Adventures. I'm still Geno. These are still my adventures, and this is Alberto. Albert, how you doing, brother?
Don Geno, how you doing?
Pretty good. Remember, today is the first day of the rest of your life, and if nothing changes, nothing's going to change. So tell me about Albert, Albert.
Oh, well, what do you want to know, Geno?
I want to know about your Colombia. What are you doing in Colombia? What are you doing?
Well, we've been going to Colombia for about 20 years now, Geno, mostly around Medellin, Antioquia, and so being that we love it so much and we're living there part time, we started a tour
Who's we?
introducing people to Colombia.
Who's we?
So my wife and I and her family that lives in Antioquia.
Oh, she's a Colombian.
Yes, sir. My wife is from Medellin, Colombia.
Okay. So go back, and I kind of overran you. You got a tour?
Yeah, so we do a tour where we introduce people to Colombia. Most of them have never been there, are curious. So what we focus on is giving them an experience that's more local, taking them out of the tourist lanes, avoiding the gringo tax, and getting them into the local flavor of the Antioquia region, Medellin, and the surrounding communities.
Basically what I'm doing in San Hill, but you're doing it in Medellin, Antioquia, and with a little different twist. Correct?
Sounds like it. Yeah, sounds like it. So we build the tour based on, a lot of what people want to do. It's a lot of nature stuff, a lot of river activities, paragliding, whether they want to go on a food tour. We've even got some artisan things, like if you want to learn how to build a guitar by hand, we have a gentleman that's been building guitars all his life. He's a 5th generation guitar builder. So you can go down, learn how to build a guitar, and actually leave with the guitar you built.
Oh, nice.
And do it for what it would probably cost you to buy a guitar here. So we have some artisan things, and mostly based around family experiences, but we could pretty much tailor it for, whatever people want to do.
That's nice, Albert. That's nice. So how did you get hooked up, or how did you decide to do this? What prompted you to make a tour?
That's a great question. I'm glad you asked me that. Well, first of all, I love being down there. So it's just another way for me to be down there. And, like when you're starting a second home and a second, life, you want to do more than just lounge around. You want to be vital. I'm a small business person. I've been self-employed for 30 years in the United States. And so it's just natural for me to want to have entrepreneurial pursuits, down there. Of course, there's a lot of opportunity down there. And it was just kind of a natural thing. And then I just love sharing it because it's just such a unique thing. It's so affordable. It's so beautiful. I've had such a good experience. It's just kind of natural to want to share it. And it's just helping me to build a second life down there. So it was just kind of a natural thing that evolved.
So good. So
honestly,
how long do you usually stay when you go?
I like to stay at least 2 or 3 weeks. So I've done anywhere between 1 to 3 weeks. Excuse me. But I mean, I'm very flexible on what people want to do. We have, I don't always have to be present to do the tour. We have drivers, we have guides, we have family. So, sure. I can do it. I can do it real basic, where if you just basically want me to get you started, or I can be with you the whole time. It just depends on what people want. Lately, people seem to want to be a little bit of both. They like me to be there some of the time, and then they want to do stuff on their own once they're comfortable. But what
Okay.
I really like to do is just to make people feel safe. Like once somebody knows you there and they know, and you know them, they know you, you're comfortable with the surroundings, then you really start to kind of unwind and enjoy it.
Yeah, well,
Especially if it's your first time.
that's about the same thing that happens to me, but instead of doing it on Tokyo and Medellin, I do it in San Gil and Bucaramanga, and basically the same thing that you're talking about. Uh, and I've had some success, and some people have really enjoyed what I set up for them, and I'm sure you've had the same results, because it's just not like getting out at the airport and catching the first cab and going, oh my God, where am I and where am I going? They had a
Yes.
little bit of structure if they wanted, or none. It's just it's up to them.
Well, I agree with you 100%. I mean, I live in Southwest United States, so a lot of Latino people here, they're bilingual.
Mhm.
So some of them don't need as much of our attention. Once you just acquaint them with the area and your team, well, then they're fine to go off on their own. They speak the language. A lot of them have traveled in Mexico already, so it's not that much different than traveling in Mexico. So, whatever level people are comfortable with, we try to adjust. It's obviously very affordable. You know, um, it's the country is affordable and the tour is affordable. So yeah, it's fun.
So yeah, I've
It's a
got
lot of
I've got
fun.
some people that are in Alaska right now, and they're sad that they're back in Alaska because it's making them crazy. But what I did for them is I got them a condo, and they rented a condo for 2 months at a really discounted rate, and from there they used that as like their base camp. So when they needed me, they would call, and when they didn't need me, they would just go exploring on their own. They were like 3 blocks from the bus station and 3 blocks from the cab stands, and I mean they could just, and of course the buses, as you know, in Colombia just run all the time in front of their condo, basically. So that was a pretty nice deal, and they enjoyed it, and they would probably really enjoy your Medellin Antioquia tour also, because
We would be happy to show them around Antioquia. Um, and I agree with you 100%. I mean, it's just, like being in small business, and when you're a small operator, you can just give a lot more personal attention to people than if they're going with, a big group of people or a big bus. And that's really what it's all about, right? It's about having
yeah.
personal experiences. This is where the small company can really offer more because of the amount of attention that we can give.
Well, and that's the thing, and I mean that if I was going to get a tour, I would like to have one of your tours or one of my tours. I wouldn't like to be riding on a bus with 40 other people with with white tennis shoes on, right? It's you get a little more, I don't know, a little more personal to the country, I think.
To each their own, but I agree. I agree with that. And that's what I've been in customer service a long time, and I have a business here where we're very customer service oriented, and it's all about, hitting the bullseye, giving people the experience, setting the expectations, and then meeting them and creating positive experiences. And and then people, like, with like your clients, they end up wanting to invest in Colombia, or they end up wanting to live there, maybe have a second home there. So it opens up all kinds of possibilities. And Colombia is just really getting popular. And so we're here to help take the stigma out of it,
Well,
right?
yeah, I think when you get over the Pablo Escobar part of the '90s, whenever he was there, I don't know, it was pretty ugly, but it's not. That's not today's Colombia, and a lot of people don't. A lot of people still think about Pablo, but Pablo's long gone, and
Yeah, I mean, like it's just like Al Capone in Chicago, right?
yeah,
I mean, people think of Al Capone,
exactly.
but that's interesting that you say that, because if you think about it, I mean, I grew up in Chicago, and I mean, Chicago is known as Chirac, among other. It's the murder capital of the U.S., but nobody would think twice of going on a vacation there. So I guess
I
it really
would.
depends on. Yeah, well, you would. Okay. But most Americans wouldn't think twice about taking a vacation in Chicago because they're not going through the door of the gangs or things like that. So it depends on what door you'll go through. We're a family focused tour out in the country, into the countryside. Of course, we go into Medellin if some people want to go into Medellin, but we're not doing nightlife. We're not doing bachelor parties. So we're focused on, family friendly and mostly about the beauty of the country, the beauty of the culture and the people. So that's been
Yeah,
the thrust of what we're doing. We've had some great success doing it.
I have people hit on me about that too, Albert, about, well, what are the bars like? What are the discos like? Or what are the whatever? And unfortunately, I have to tell them I don't have a clue, because
Yeah.
I like the way you put it the other day. You like to stay on the sunny side. Uh,
Keep it on the sunny side. Yeah.
keep it on the sunny side,
I
out of the
like to do
ditch.
that wherever I'm at, whether it's
Yeah.
here or there. Yeah, keep it on the sunny side. That's what our tour is all about, is keeping it positive and staying away from anything, that could be an issue. And so I guess most tours are probably that way, but yeah, we're not. It's a family type experience and a experience for people that are more interested in nature and culture than they are in like you said, the nightlife and entertainment and all that stuff. Yeah, definitely that's where we're at.
So Albert, are you going to give me a link I can put in the description here so people can get in touch
Sure,
with you?
yeah. I'll link our website, and anybody could contact me through there if they have questions about anything. The tours start at $199, so they're real inexpensive. So if they have any questions, they can let us know. And we're
So what
booking
do you get? What do you
booking the
get for
summer.
What do you get for $199?
So for $199, we're gonna fully book your tour. We're gonna get you the absolute lowest price on your airfare. We're gonna have a driver pick you up at the airport and help you design your tour based on what you want to do and help you book all of your accommodations for
Cool.
$199.
Cool. That's pretty inexpensive.
Well, that's the starter pack. That's just to get you started. And then from there, if you want a personal guide, it starts at $99 a day. If you want someone with you full time. Of course, we're going to help you, get your rental car if you want one, or if you just want a driver to take you around. And then we'll always be there if you need something to call us and you want to meet up. So, yeah, I mean, it's inexpensive. This isn't really. It's more about creating a lifestyle than trying to, we're not trying to get rich doing this. It's more
Yeah.
about creating a lifestyle and introducing people to Colombia in a low cost way. So people have been responding well to it, and it's been filling up.
Well, good, Albert. Well, thank you. I really appreciate your time, and I'm sorry you got. I'm not sorry. You got a great. I mean, this is better than being in your office, I think.
Yeah, this worked out good. I didn't plan it to be out here, but it worked out good, and I appreciate your time and everything that you're doing, Geno. Thank you very much for having me today.
Oh, you're welcome, Albert. So remember, in the link, you'll find Albert's information. And don't forget, today is the first day of the rest of your life. And if nothing changes, nothing's going to change, brother. So we will see you and Albert on the flip side.